Hello, good evening. Today I'm going to share about my chapter 3 thesis title. And my thesis title is talk about consumer purchasing decision in Tokopedia as e-commerce market space, the impact of creative message in the discussion process. Don't be surprised if I call e-commerce not again as a marketplace, because Kotler have a new definition for e-commerce as a market space, because the e-commerce, there is no physical place in the market, but it's some kind of space in the internet, which is in web browsers, so it calls with market space. For the details, if you want to know, you can ask me outside this presentation. Okay, my chapter 3 operational framework, I use path analysis because I want to find out the direct impact of creative message on purchasing decision, as well as the indirect impact of creative message through discussion feature on purchasing decision. That you can see there are 3 variables. I will explain later. There is a discussion feature, creative message, and purchase decision. For the data collection procedure, I will use survey methods because from survey methods, I can provide an explanation of the phenomenon under study and the relationship between variables, and this is included in explanatory research with a quantitative approach. The selection of the design of this research is based on existing capabilities, while the instrument rely on the form of questionnaires. As you know, that explanatory research, according to Sugiono, 2006, is a study that explains the causal relationship between variables that influence the hypothesis. Data collection schedule. The data collection schedule is already carried out in July 2018 to customers who make purchases on Black Passion Coffee through Tokopedia e-commerce market space. And here you are, the variable and size. There are 2 for path analysis, which is exogenous variables and endogenous variables. For exogenous variable, there are 2 variables, which is discussion feature, mentioned with X, is a process of communication using internet media in communication and interaction in a transactional process. For the creative message, which is called with Y, is a message compiled in such a way that contains sentences, pictures, video, or other interactive media, which aim to influence others in many ways, including influence product purchasing decision. And for the endogenous variables is purchasing decision, we call it Z, is the result of the consumer evaluation process of the product or service that has been offered by the seller in the form of a decision to purchase the product or service that has been offered. The data generation instrument, there are so many. For exogenous variable, I try to gather in 5 points, and also the creative message in Y, the indicator is also 5 points that you can see. And the endogenous variable for purchase decision, I try to make a point into 5 points also. From this point, I can show about my data analysis procedure. I use analysis path because I want to find out the direct impact of creative message on purchasing decision, as well as the indirect influence of creative message through discussion features on purchasing decision. You can see that direct impact model of the discussion feature process on purchasing decision, I will test using this pattern and also the indirect impact model of discussion feature on purchasing decision through creative message. I also test with this model. This model is already put into the theoretical itself about the path analysis. Also, I use determination coefficient used to see, because why I use this determination coefficient, because this is used to see how much the size of the independent variable called X affect the dependent variable called Y, expressed in percentages. The magnitude of the coefficient of determination is calculated by using the following formula as mentioned. And also I do the hypothesis testing, which is there are partial path coefficient testing. It mentioned two, and the first is effect of variable X on variable Z. And as you see, based on the total effect value above, or what you see in here, the amount can be shown direct and indirect impact of variable X on variable Z. And also there is effect of variable Y on variable Z. Like you see here, we can use this pattern to understand about the condition, and based on the total effect value above, the amount can be shown direct and indirect impact of Y variable on variable Z. I also use joint path coefficient testing simultaneous with statistical hypothesis. Like you see here, that the feature of discussion and creative message together do not affect purchasing decision, and also the features of discussion and creative message together influence purchasing decision. To test the hypothesis above, the F-test is used as a formula following, as you can see here. Because why I choose like this? Because the design of hypothesis testing in this study is to examine whether there is influence between discussion feature variables and creative message on purchasing decision. For the variable measurement, I uses ordinal scale through scaling with questionnaire measurement technique. Respondent response is measured using a Likert scale, that is by giving 5 choices of the answer to one question. The score shifts between the value of 1 to 5. Sampling and respondent and also resources present. The population intended in this research is all customers of Black Passion Coffee who use service through online in July 2018, as many as 156 customers. And the sample used in this research is 30% from population as usual, or for about 47 respondents were round up to 50 candidates who used the service online. The sampling technique used in this study is accidental sampling, which is sampling technique where group or subject are taken by chance when found. Okay, thank you so much for this is for my chapter 3 thesis title presentation. If you have some suggestion or even some input, are really welcome. Thank you.